What's up, guys? El Navajero here. I wanted to give you guys 3 budget slicer knives. These are 3 from my collection that I believe are some of the best slicers that come with very good blade geometry and go through material very easily. So starting off, we have the CJRB Pyrite. Really love this knife. Quick story, I used this knife last night for work, and after using it, I noticed it wasn't back in my pocket, so I thought I had lost it. So I was pretty devastated. And yeah, you don't know how much you love a knife until you lose it. So luckily I found it. I had misplaced it, but yeah, this thing is one of my favorite knives, specifically because of the thin blade stock. I believe it has a 0.12. Don't quote me specifically. I'll try and put the exact blade thicknesses, but that is something that definitely helps with slicing. So 0.12 blade thickness. You have AR RPM 9 with a tumbled stonewash finish. This thing is super sharp, hones very sharp. I love how easily you can sharpen this knife. And yeah, going through material, it's super easy, especially with this Warncliffe blade. You know, you just make your cuts and it just glides through material, cardboard specifically, but you know, you can get paper, you know, make clean little curls on that too. Yeah, this thing is one of my favorite slicers, specifically if I know I'm going to be doing very detailed cuts, or just something that I have to cut various boxes, things like that. This is a no-brainer. You know, tipped, canted down like that also helps to get into cuts very easily. Right here, I can already feel that I need to reprofile the edge right here on the front. There's a little bit of a burr on top right here. And again, I use this one quite a lot, so you know, this one definitely gets its paces through my rotation of knives, and it is an incredible slicer. Again, what helps is that flat grind. The stonewash, I believe, also helps because material doesn't stick to the blade, and the thin blade stock. And yeah, other than that, I mean, besides it being a great slicer, it just looks really good. I love the stonewash on the handles, nice chamfered edges on everything. Everything is really nice, rounded off. You have milling on the inside. This doesn't have liners. It's just pretty much the scales, the stainless steel scales. And then you have your button lock, which works amazing. CJRB's button locks are pretty much some of the best in the game, budget-wise. And then you got yourself a deep carry pocket clip, inset screws, but not inset pocket clip. But yeah, all around a great slicer. If you want to go ahead and have something under, you know, 50 bucks, make all your cuts, hones easily, this is the CJRB Pyrite. All right, next up, we have the Kizer Mini Roach. Again, going back to that thin blade stock, this one I believe is thinner than the CJRB. I'll try and put in right here how thin this actually is. I mean, I can already tell it's probably thinner, maybe 0.11, I'd say, in thick blade thickness. Stonewash again, which again, I believe it helps with that going through material and slicing through things. This one, instead of having a flat grind, it has a hollow grind. So that just means that the edges or the sharpening of this, instead of it being just flat, it's a bit of, I don't even know how I can explain this, but it rounds off down on each side. So it sharpens up super sharp. I'm not sure which one is the better slicer as far as a hollow grind or a flat grind. I believe this one and this one are, you know, quite comparable, but all in all, I do see the difference in a hollow grind specifically when it sharpens up. I feel like it sharpens up very, very toothy and very, very, yeah, you can definitely feel it on the edge. So yeah, this one right here, you're sporting some G10 scales. This one not as chamfered, not as rounded off as I would like, but it still fits very comfortable in hand. This one you have your choke up spot as well, which is super comfortable. Full jimping right here. Again, when you're making those cuts, it just glides through material. And it's pokey right here, so at the tip, so you can get cutting in to make your cuts down, cutting to make your cuts or poking, piercing. Yeah, you got yourself a Stonewash 154 cm, if I didn't mention. This is pretty much Kizer's standard material that they use for their steel. And then you have yourself a deep carry inset pocket clip with inset screws. This one has proud liners. As you can tell right there, they're blacked out. G10 backspacer. Yeah, this thing is a slicing machine. Again, if you're looking to make various slices or cuts, this one's super good for that. Bit thicker of a blade also, so maybe for food prep as well, things that you need to you know, cut thicker objects or material, this one would probably be a little bit better than the pyrite. So yeah, this one I definitely enjoy using. This is a great EDC even, though it is a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger, but it is still within that, you know, maybe 7.5 or smaller inches in total length. But yeah, carries super nice. Awesome action on bearings. Love the drop on this one. This one also has amazing action, so that's another, you know, plus for this. But yeah, the sliciness of this blade, and I love that little cutout swedge. I love the design of this as well, with that kind of, you know, spear point or drop point, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you get a lot of good use out of it. Blade hole, which is my favorite to reverse flick, and you can still get it with a thumb very comfortably. Not too many, you know, hole deployment knives, you can get them with a thumb comfortably. This one you definitely can. And has great acoustics. Yeah, the comfort is next level as well. Choked up or even, you know, in the back like this. So yeah, that is the Kizer Mini Roach. All right, and then last one up is the Civivi Qubit. This one, I'm a little bit torn. I absolutely love certain things about this knife, and I hate certain things about this knife. But as far as the title is, with a slicer, this is the best slicer that I own. The blade stock thickness, again, is super thin, ridiculously thin on this. You have yourself 14C 28N, which again is a great budget steel. This thing hones up and sharpens super sharp. I mean, as soon as you get it out of box, it's super sharp, and as soon as you hone it or give it any type of stropping, this thing is just super hair, you know, sharpening, sharp. Yeah, pretty redundant, but yeah, this knife I purchased at Walmart, and I was super happy with my purchase. Initially, button locks, they do take a while to pretty much break in, so you do need to, you know, open and close them. You need to be continuously, you know, using them for that button lock to work itself in and for the action to get better. Unfortunately, I had a lot of buttons stick with this, and it hasn't completely gone away. The action is something that I feel is something that this is lacking. But as far as, you know, the use of a knife is, this thing is amazing. I did change the thumb stud on here, so it is a little bit different than the one you would get. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I changed the thumb stud. I just didn't really like how slick that tips of this thumb stud that it originally comes with is. So that I put it, you know, put a different thumb stud, see if that would also help the action. It did kind of help it. So, you know, I'm not totally against the Qubit, but it definitely isn't as good of a deployment, and especially, you know, I mean, it's working better than it has, you know, but sometimes it kind of sticks. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for specifically just a slicer, I mean, this is the knife to get. Another thing is it has aluminum handles, so it's super, super light. I mean, you can't hardly feel this thing in the pocket. I mean, it's gonna carry very, very light because of that. And this doesn't also have liners. It just has the milled aluminum scales, super chamfered, super comfortable in hand too. I mean, the comfort is also very, very good on this knife. So this has a lot going for it. It's just, I don't like the action as much as, you know, maybe, yeah, I mean, for me, the action kind of is lacking, but it just hits, you know, a 10 on every other thing that I can't hate this knife because it's so good at slicing. I mean, the profile on this, the thinness and the shape, you know, kind of a, you know, spear point again or drop point shape of this is excellent for cutting. It just goes through material ridiculously well, better than these two, definitely. I mean, this thing, you got to be careful with also, even when you choke up, because you will cut yourself. That's one thing that, you know, is a little bit scary when you're choking up right here, because it is still kind of thin right there. It doesn't, you know, get very thick right here for your finger. But other than that, I mean, this thing is ridiculously good at slicing through material. Another thing is the pocket clip. You have a inset pocket clip with our deep carry pocket clip inset with inset screws. It is reversible, so that's a plus. You can reverse it. You have milling still in the aluminum on the inside right here. Oh, actually, no, you don't. See, this thing feels like it does because it's so light. So yeah, there's no milling in here. It's just the aluminum handles with no milling, and it still feels super, super light. But yeah, the comfort also, again, going back to that aluminum handle, it is chamfered very, very well, and it molds into your hand. I mean, you can hardly feel even that pocket clip. It feels really, really nice. And you can choke up. Really nice jimping here too. It grabs your thumb really, really well. But all in all, like I said, oh, and you have a little extra bottle opener here. I kind of don't like this actually. It got caught in my pocket once in my work pants, and it kind of opened up before I could even take it out of the pocket. So that's kind of dangerous. So again, there's certain things that this knife, I feel like this knife kind of is cursed because I feel like it wants to cut me. But other than that, I mean, if you're going to get cut, you don't want to get cut with this because it's super sharp and super slicey. But yeah, this is definitely the sliciest knife I own. And it's also the one that I kind of don't, you know, don't prefer the action on. But that said, yeah, guys, those are 3 knives that are slicers. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys did, go ahead and drop a like on this video and consider subscribing. I am on my road to 1,000 subscribers, and we'll be doing a giveaway, so keep an eye out for that. Hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Later.